Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of our daily debate. In today's edition, we are going to talk about Egypt attracting more foreign direct investment by improving the climate environment of business in Egypt, and by giving incentives to the investors. And that would be our topic for the debate for tonight. But first, we'll start with the top stories, where President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Supply and Internal Trade Sharif Farouk, and Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation Ala Eddin Farouk. During the meeting, President al-Sisi stressed on the importance of full coordination among the state agencies concerned with food security, ensuring harmony between these institutions and their implementation and alignment with the state policies. President al-Sisi instructed to coordinate between the relevant state agencies and the Future of Egypt Authority in determining areas to be cultivated with strategic crops in the new delta, with the aim of achieving self-sufficiency. The meeting also addressed the efforts to improve agricultural lands and implement mechanization, as well as exerting effort to increase the productivity of red meat and dairy. It emphasized the availability of the strategic reserves of the basic commodities, particularly wheat, sugar, oil and meat, with the President stressing that Egypt's food security should remain stable. In this context, the meeting highlighted details of contracts related to the purchasing of strategic commodities, including those of 304 million tons of wheat, 192,000 tons of crude oil, 40,000 tons of frozen poultry and 6,000 tons of frozen meat. President al-Sisi hailed statements by U.S. President Donald Trump, which he said demonstrates the seriousness of the United States in exerting efforts to resolve the conflicts and the wars. The head of state reaffirmed Egypt's confidence in President Trump's ability to address complex challenges and to advance peace, stability and security across the globe, whether in Ukraine, the Palestinian territory and Africa. He expressed his appreciation to Trump's keenness on reaching just and safeguards the interests of all parties regarding the Ethiopian dam, as well as his recognition of the Nile as a serious source of life for Egypt. President al-Sisi reaffirmed his support for President Trump's vision of establishing a just peace, security and stability for all countries in the region and around the world. And now to the topic of our debate for tonight, where Egypt is set to plan to attract between $12 billion to $15 billion for foreign investment in 2025. More details on the following story.
Egypt is actively working to enhance the investment climate and attract foreign investments with a focus on the private sector and sustainable development. Recent initiatives include streamlining investment processes, offering incentives and expanding public-private partnerships. Egypt is also seeking to leverage regional trade agreements to boost investments and exports. The government aims to attract between $12 billion and $15 billion in foreign investments by the end of 2025, according to a statement by Hossein Hiba, the CEO of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, GAFI, who said Egypt's foreign direct investments saw a remarkable surge in 2024, reaching $46.6 billion. He revealed that foreign direct investment growth had continued into the first quarter of 2025, recording a 15% increase to $2.7 billion compared to the previous year. He further highlighted plans to unify the licensing platform to streamline the investment process and accelerate the country's digital transformation efforts, which are set to be completed by the end of this year. Additionally, the government is exploring the possibility of replacing investor fees with a tax-based system, a move aimed at further incentivizing investment and reducing bureaucratic hurdles for businesses. Earlier, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli announced that Egypt has attracted $2.7 billion in foreign direct investments in the first quarter of the fiscal year 2024-25. He added that remittances from Egyptians abroad were also rising, whilst exports and industrial developments continue to expand. The Premier said the government was closely monitoring strategic commodity reserves, saying that the state is working to execute a comprehensive plan for creating an investment environment that enables the private sector to play a pivotal role in driving growth and achieving sustainable development goals. According to Madbouli, the government is taking various measures and decisions to enhance the attractive climate for local and foreign investors. The state is already working to create an attractive investment environment by offering various incentives and facilitations, in addition to expanding the public-private partnership system to support the efficient and sustainable implementation of major projects. The state is also focused on attracting increased foreign direct investment by improving business environment and streamlining procedures, as well as revising legislations related to improving the investment climate. Such measures will strengthen Egypt's competitiveness as a major investment and trade destination in the region.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, to talk more about Egypt investing and having a proper environment for the investment through attracting foreign direct investment. We are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by our dear guest, Dr. Zeinab Nawwar, Professor of Economy at Egypt University of Informatics, EUI. Thank you so much, Dr. Nawwar, for being our guest for tonight.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Doctor, to start with, Egypt is trying actually to set a proper and attractive climate for investment in order to attract more foreign direct investment. How do you see the efforts exerted by the Egyptian administration in order to attract foreign direct investment?
Yes, indeed. When we talk about the Egyptian administration and the effort that had been done by the government, concerning attracting FDI and also the different efforts on different lines that had been done, starting from streamlining the regulations and doing a lot of amendments to different laws related to encouraging investors and also facilitating the what we can say, the registration, the one-stop shop, the regulation also, if there are problems related to a sector or investment in certain sector, how you just going to troubleshoot the problems that the investor may face if he's going to invest in Egypt. Also, what had been done concerning the digitalization of the economy and how that we are now moving in what we can say that into different directions related to the technology and the use of AI.
Of course.
The different infrastructure projects that we had worked on in terms of Egypt. I mean, talking about starting from the roads and bridges and ports and all of this huge projects and infrastructure projects.
Yep.
So we are working on different pillars and different important effort. Also, the number of universities that have been established related to the use of technology and the AI, training the youth, different specializations in different universities. So you can see that we had done a comprehensive effort in different fields, and all of that definitely will means that we're going to attract more of FDI, although that we are facing right now civilization clashes and problems in the region and all of that.
How Dr. Nawwar, could have an impact on the foreign direct investment? All what you have kindly mentioned now with the clash of civilization, with different mentality, with different preferences, how that could be affecting the foreign direct investment?
Of course, the investors, when they find that the worldwide environment is not encouraging this type, the investment and also the political and economic stability, this is one of the important factors for investors, and definitely when talking about the international investors. For the local investor, of course, the economic and political stability in Egypt, this is an edge for him, and he's going to work. If he didn't going to export somewhere, he's going to work locally, so there will be no problem for the local investor. But for the international FDIs, the degree of the political and economic stability in different countries of the world and worldwide is an edge for his work. If this was not the case, I think that most of the FDIs will shrink their activities, just be stable. They will not expand into different countries. They just wait and see. Maybe they will look for different opportunities. So why not going to Africa? Why not to expand in a country like Egypt? So in a way or another, maybe we have an edge of this type of issues that we do have worldwide, that if we can just properly market for our economy and then just to show the world and to show the investors worldwide that we had done a lot of effort, this could be an edge that we can use.
How Egypt can actually gain the confidence of the investor to attract the foreign direct investment, either the foreign investor or the Egyptian investor?
The stability that is going to be in the market, this is very important. I mean, the different indicators, the different economic indicators is very important for any investor. Maybe I'll talk about the inflation rate. If you're going to do some sort of lessen or decrease the inflation rate, and if you're going to not to change the laws and regulations in a way that would disturb the work of the investor, but you are doing changes and amendments in the rules of regulations in favor of the investor. If we talk about local or foreign investors, this would mean, yes, there will be some sort of trust. If the economy and the indicators of the economy is going well, you are working on a strategic plan in terms as a government for different sectors to achieve economic development and to achieve sustainability. All of this would be like indicators and important signs for foreign investors just to judge the situation and to see that would be a potential. Also the linkage with the different international markets, also the degree of the political stability, the political relation with different countries around the world, like African countries, and all of that would be also an edge. Being in the heart of the world and having a lot of connections, routes, transportation, infrastructure projects, so all of this would just give a good sign to foreign investors just to come to the country.
Doctor, what are the incentives that were given by the state here in Egypt in order to facilitate the work of the investors and encourage them to invest in Egypt?
Of course, we have this type of image and economic indication, and all of that would be a part of the deal. The other part of the deal, that for the FDI that's coming into our country, they would like to know if they're going to achieve profit out of the country or not, if they're going to deal and handle the business, and if they're going to find the different suppliers, either local suppliers or foreign suppliers, through the use of ports and connections and transportation means. One of the important things also that to think about that different exemptions from customs or taxation for a certain time. One of the main drivers of attraction for the FDI here in Egypt is the free zone areas, where that you are attracting and you're encouraging the foreign company to come and invest and to produce. You're also giving them exemption for any material, raw material they're going to get it from different countries for their manufacturing process, and then you are facilitating also the re-exporting of these products, and sometimes you allow them to sell part of their products in the local market. So given this type of incentives, And of course the regulation, the ease of the process, and also if there is a problem facing the investor, you just go and troubleshoot this problem. All of this will be like a package for the investor to come and to invest. All of this will be incentives. The level of education also, one of the important incentives when they're coming to our land. They will just study also the level of education, the training, the output of, in terms of graduates from different universities, from different institutions, and all of the technical institutions even. So all of that would be incentives to any foreign FDI to come to our country, indeed.
To what extent we did succeed in simplifying the process of establishing a business here in Egypt? We have to mention that before we were having some sort of bureaucracy and complication that might hinder the willingness of an investor to come and invest in Egypt. But this has actually changed to a great extent. To what extent you have witnessed a simplification of the process here for establishing a business?
To a great extent. Eventually, this is we have a revolution. We have a revolution in this part, and dealing with the bureaucracy. Now we do have different ways in terms of one-stop shop, where you can go to one place and where you can just go and to do all of the registrations, the required documents, whatever, dealing with different banks, and even facilitate the work and how you just open an account for your company at a bank. You even have like units in one of ministries to like reply the investors if they would like to ask about something related to the investment, related to the regulation, how to deal with the different governmental entities. And also we have the golden registration also. This is some of the also important facilities for the investors. So again, and once again, yes, this is truly new measures, and I think that it will be in 1 week that you can start your own business, and you can get the sufficient approvals, including even handling the deal with the banks and knowing about your business if you like to know about the business. And what else that it became very important also for the foreign direct investors also, the knowledge and the information that they can easily acquire, and also the speedy process.
Yes, indeed. Excuse me, Dr. Nawwar, but we'll go now for the Al-Isha prayer, and then we'll be back to resume our debate, so stay tuned. Welcome back, our dear viewers, and continuing our debate with our dear guest, Dr. Zeinab Nawwar, about the investment in Egypt. Dr. Nawwar, actually we did succeed to move from the 32nd position to the 9th position globally in the foreign direct investment, by being recipients of the foreign direct investment. How has this step actually been driven by the incentives that were given, by the building of or development of the infrastructure? To what extent actually all the work that have been done throughout the past years in Egypt actually did succeed in helping us to move from the 32nd stage to the 9th stage as FDI attractors?
Working on different infrastructure projects, including the digital infrastructure, this would enhance and also encourage further FDIs to come into our land. Because when you have different linkages between different, I'm talking about the infrastructure projects, different linkages between different places in Egypt means less cost to the investor, to the FDI. Also, the linkage that we had made with the ports and the Egyptian ports means that any foreign investor could come to Egypt, and also if he's going to work from a free zone area, so he will get the proper exemptions. So means that he's going to import the different raw material, manufacturing all of these raw materials
with no tax.
And with less cost. With less cost, he can just import the raw material and doing the processing and manufacturing, and then do the exportation work. This means that he's going to compete worldwide. Why he's going to compete? Because you had just give him an exemption from the customs for whatever raw material is going to enter into our lands from different countries, and also for the manufacturing process and for the exportation efforts also. And also the exemption from taxes means that you are giving some sort of time, a window of time for this investor just to work and to produce and to sell the products, and then he's going to, after a while, just pay the taxes. So this would ease the flow of money. Instead of just paying this amount of money to the taxation authority, so you just give him or give the investor this flow of money, this amount of money, so he's going to invest this money once again for more of production, and then for more of the work and the flow of the work and flow of manufacturing product, and then re-exporting all of these products once again. So you are creating an income, you are creating profits for this investor. So once again, rules and regulations plus the different infrastructure projects, of course this will be a great what can say, support and help for the investor. Of course the rank that we had achieved is because of all that what we had worked on, and also because of the project that we do have in Ras Al Hikma, and along with the different projects for the real estate sector also, attracting different FDIs to invest in the real estate sector in Egypt, which of course would be a good income to the Egyptian economy, and also would generate more of GDP along different periods of time. So, of course, achieving this rank is very important. Reading these achievements is very also crucial for the different investors in different economic and in different sectors, real estate sector and also different sectors. So it would be a positive indicator and positive sign for the Egyptian economy, for the stability, for the achievement related to the business, and this also would enhance the work of the local investor, because when we think about the FDI, also we have to think about the local investors and how they're going to benefit from these FDIs and also from these projects and from this inflow of money coming into the country.
Yes, and we'll take it back from here, Dr. Nawwar, but we'll take this report and then we'll talk about how we can actually link and benefit both the foreign investor with the local investor for the benefit of the investment in Egypt. But Egypt did jump to the 9th place in the global FDI rankings as FDI inflows and lower inflation fuel the investor confidence.
According to a United Nations report, Egypt's foreign direct investment surged in 2024, making it the 9th largest recipient globally and the main driver of a rebound in investment across the African continent. The World Investment Report 2025 from the UN Trade and Development, which was launched in Cairo, showed that Egypt's performance contrasted with the second consecutive annual decline in global foreign direct investments when excluding volatile financial flows. The report mentioned that the global outlook for 2025 remains negative amid heightened investor uncertainty, while FDI inflows to Africa rebounded by 75% in 2024 to $97 billion, largely due to flows into Egypt. This increased the continent's share of global FDIs to 6% from 4% the previous year, and its share of developing country inflows to 11% from 6%. Egypt was identified as the primary driver of the turnout, with a mega project in urban development at Ras Al Hikma being a significant contributor. Globally, FDI rose 4% in 2024 to $1.5 trillion US. With these, global FDIs registered an 11% decline earlier. The report also found that investment in sectors related to sustainable development goals in developing countries fell by 25 to 33% across infrastructure, renewable energy, water and sanitation, and agri-food systems. Only the health sector saw growth, though from a small base. Announced greenfield projects fell in both number by 5% and value by 37% in most countries in Africa. Cross-border mergers and acquisitions turned negative, resulting in net divestments of $1.5 billion US, compared with $9.5 billion in 2023. The country also defied the continent-wide decline in announced greenfield projects. The report identified North Africa, led by Egypt, as the main growth engine for FDI on the continent. In a year marked by shifting global investment patterns, Egypt's consistent presence on the investment landscape, as captured in the World Investment Report, comes as it doubles down on an ambitious reform agenda that places industrial production, exports and foreign direct investments at the heart of its economic development model.
Welcome back to our dear guest, Dr. Zeinab Nawwar. Dr. Zeinab, before listening to this report about even Egypt being moved from the 32nd position in foreign direct investment to the 9th position, how do you see the inflows of the foreign direct investment and how that did actually help in the reduction of the inflation rate in Egypt?
Of course, when you do have this type of inflows into the Egyptian economy, so this means that if we are going to talk about the inflows in terms of money and in terms of opportunities coming into the economy and creating projects on the ground and for different economic fields, this means that you are going to you have a cycle of production inside the Egyptian economy. So this cycle of production would create more of inflows in another flow of money because of this inflow of money. So we should be smart of using this inflow of money and create as much as we can in terms of projects. If you have a foreign investor coming into our land, so we need to ensure that he's going to invest the amount that he said that he's going to invest in the country. And also part of his project, he should use local investors and Egyptian investors and Egyptian companies. And definitely they would do so, of course, because they will use in part of their work the Egyptian companies and Egyptian workforce and Egyptian graduates and all of that would create more of opportunities. The smarter that we can get in terms of inflow in doing reproduction of whatever we do have, and also the diversity of projects that we can just attract into our land, the more of opportunities that would create in terms of employability, in terms of more of output, in terms of linkage with different sectors and different Egyptian investors, and even linking with the startups and the small and medium enterprises. So if we can just this is what we can call an economics accumulation effect, that you just have a certain amount of money, which is X, so you have to triple this amount on the land when we talk about the manufacturing and also the production process. So we have to be smart in that. This is very important.
Yes. Doctor, what actually fiscal policies were adopted by Egypt to attract the foreign investors and to improve the global investment reputation?
I see from my point of view the most important thing that have been done throughout the fiscal policies in terms of the exemptions from taxes, part of it, and of course also the government expenditure on different infrastructure projects. Because in terms of fiscal policies means that government is going to spend on roads, new cities like the new administrative capital, different projects. So fiscal policies had, of course, hugely increased and encouraged the investors throughout the money that had been spent by the government for different infrastructure projects and for also digitalization of Egypt. This, of course, enhanced and also helped a lot to have this advanced ranking in terms of attracting FDI. And also spending on new universities and new technological institutions and training the youth. All of this is coming from the government budget and from the government expenditure, if you talk about the fiscal policy.
Yes. Doctor, since you have mentioned technology, and to what extent Egypt is working actually on developing its digital infrastructure in order to support its attraction for FDI?
Huge investment for this sector, huge efficient investment for this sector. We're talking about that the government is spending a lot for updating all of the technological infrastructure, for the transformation and for the digitalization of the different services, and even the techniques and tools for production and the use of technology. A lot of training institutions now are training the youth, and different universities are training the youth for the new trends, using the technology, using the applications, creating the applications, and working in different encoding, and also the use of AI in the manufacturing, and also for providing the different services. So all of this is coming from the effort from the government, again from the government, just pushing all of these types of investment, proper and efficient investment. And of course, one of, maybe if you talk about technology, one of the efficient ways that the Egyptian government is working in terms of government expenditure is supporting and training the youth in different fields and different sectors, and also encouraging the startups to work in this field of technology. Also engagement with different international players, trying to get more information and knowledge, and helping these startups, how to finance them, how to focus also on local investment. We are focusing on FDI part of the scene, but the other important also factor that we are focusing on is the local investors and the SMEs and the startups and all of this important sector. So link all together, you will find that this is why we have this advanced rank.
Yes. Doctor, actually, how far the government tackling of economic reform and setting an economic vision have actually helped in gaining the confidence of the investors?
There is a vision, like to transform Egypt into an important economic hub for important and substantial economic activities, giving our location political linkages with different countries of the world, different projects that we do have on the ground and already have been implemented. Again, training the youth, different educational programs in different universities. So all of this would play an important role eventually. So the vision means that you have like a path that you would like to reach one day, and you are just combining all and the different resources in an efficient way, efficient strategic way to reach this point. I think we're working on that, just to transform Egypt into an important economic hub, important, what can I say, we used to be the heart of the world, and we are going to, and also we're still the heart of the world. And throughout the different encouragement for different sectors and for the Egyptian youth and for the Egyptian investors, we can also be an opportunity for a lot of FDIs, and also we can also be the heart of different manufacturing and economic advancement, and also more of exportation to different countries of the world. And even we can be like a hub for exporting to Africa, exporting to different regions, still exporting to Europe, to the US. So how we can just we need more work on that path also, that we need to again and once again to benefit from our historical political and economic situation.
Yes. To what extent, Doctor, our economic and political stability, as well as on working on the infrastructure in the country, were actually key elements in attracting the investors and to attract their confidence as well to invest in Egypt?
Number one for any investor is thinking about the political stability of the country. Because if you don't have a political stability,
of course,
so the foreign investor is thinking that he's going to have an amount of X to be invested in Egypt. So if there is no political stability, so who knows? There will be like a civil war this will be unfortunately the case for any country, not for us, of course. Any social instability, any political instability, political issues, frictions. So of course political instability is an important edge. If you don't have political instability, don't think about FDI, because they will not come. And also don't think about local investors and investment at all. So the economic stability also comes from the good economic indicators, macroeconomic indicators, and handling the inflation problem. This is very important when we talk about economic stability. So, and eventually we had done any respected effort in that, but we still need more on that because of inflation, or the high inflation rate is one of the main sources of what can we say, that the investors will be worried about the economy because they increase in prices. This means also that to manufacture inside Egypt, yes, if you're talking about the flotation of the Egyptian pound and all of that, part of it,
very important,
but this would be, we will have a part of it, the flotation of the Egyptian pound. Okay, so there will be some gains here, but this will also be affected because we may have some losses if we have a high inflation rate. Because at the end of the day, he's going to manufacture inside Egypt using the Egyptian manpower. So he has to pay to them decent salaries. And because of the inflation rate, he has to pay higher. And even for any process that he's going to handle inside Egypt, he will pay more.
Of course.
So maybe you will have a gain in an area, but you will have a loss in another. So this is very important, is to deal with the inflation rate and to continue our effort in this
Doctor, to what
area.
extent the stability or the current stability of the exchange rates and the elimination of the black markets are positive indicators for the investors?
Of course, it tells one message to the investor that we don't have this type of different and multi-market for the currency, and having like some sort of stability for the exchange rate. Also, it tells something related that we are stabilizing the economy and we are stabilizing this indicator. The thing that how this stability of the exchange rate would reflect on the FDI, or for any local manufacturing, related to the type or the amount of imported products and raw materials is going to import from somewhere. So if you do have this type of flotation, this means that on and off he will pay more, maybe he will pay less. But when you do like this type of stability of the exchange rate, so he's going to do the proper forecasting. He knows how much exactly he's going to pay. There will be no disturbance when just doing the payments and all of this, because all of this will be reflected on the profit of the company itself. So the more that you have a stability on these ratios and inflation rate, exchange rate, macroeconomic indicators, the more you are supporting the income and the profit for the FDI, so they will come to you. The more you have fluctuations, it's not good to have a high and then have a low, and then these type of fluctuations will reflect on the performance of the FDI. So the more that he will be worried about the economy.
Yes. Doctor, marketing for our economy and what we have done throughout the past years, and marketing for the investors to come, and that their experience here would be quite beneficial and quite fruitful. How we should market for a better environment and better attraction for the investors?
The best way to market for our economy is to troubleshoot and to handle any problem any of the FDIs are facing in Egypt, and also to deal on professional way with the FDIs that are operating right now. Because if you deal efficiently with them, they will market eventually for us with different multinational companies, and this would be our core. He would be our partner to get more of other FDIs into our lands. So the best way that we have to deal with them on professional way, to deal with any problem that these FDIs are facing here in Egypt in terms of regulations, taxation, customs, approvals from whatever minister or whatever official place, official office. This would market for us. But if there are problems that he just came to our land and then he's facing problems and we are not able to handle these problems, or our response to his problems is late or slow, this would backfire for us. So we need to deal with them professionally, and then we will use them later on to market for us.
Yes. Doctor, as the state is actually implementing a number of national and mega projects to enhance the economy, how can actually such mega projects contribute to increase the foreign investment in Egypt?
This mega project, it depends on the sector itself, because if you are going to, when the government is spending, this is what we can call government expenditure. Once we talk about the fiscal policy, so there is a government expenditure on mega projects, because sometimes for some projects the private sector will not be able to spend on these mega projects. So these mega projects, if we talk about different projects like the new administration city, for example, and how we're just allowing like having a hub for different multinationals to work and to start their own business. If you talk about the industrial zones and industrial cities and Suez Canal corridor project, and all of these payments that the government had made from the budget in this mega project. So you're just making the baseline, and the hard work that the government had made will pay off in terms of attracting FDIs, because they will come for these projects. They will come to you because they want to take benefit and to take an advantage from what you had done and from what you had given to them in terms of facilitation. Facilities, as if that you had given them money and the support to start the business inside Egypt.
Finally, Doctor, what more should be done in order to attract more investors, and do we have still challenges to conquer in order to reach our aim of a certain level of investment in our country?
Yes, we still need, I don't know how we're going to do that. We still need to go to different countries, like in African countries, for example. Government officials from the Ministry of Investment, I don't know, I'm just thinking, just to go to different countries of the world and to see the potential and try to attract. You are saying about exporting or attracting FDI?
Attracting FDI.
Attracting FDI. Okay, so once again, we'll do it in both ways. Going to different countries, market for our economy, and also looking for different opportunities in different countries, also for our local investors. So we can do it in both ways.
Yes, indeed.
Still more effort, physical effort, we need to do it.
Indeed, Dr. Zeinab Nawwar, Professor of Economics. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being our guest for tonight. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Our dear viewers, with that we come to the end of this edition of the Daily Debate. Many thanks for watching.